like and subscribe. Serious what is a scummy thing a company did / is doing that people should be talking about more? Compass Group Corporate Dining. I was a manager at this company, and when the pandemic hit, they changed all sick time and vacation rules, so you would not allow you to use your time if on furlough. Basically they could steal your hours accrued and not pay you, just to save the company money when people needed it the most. I live in a city with sick and safe time laws. I explicitly told our district manager and our people what they are doing is illegal. I talked to the Office of Labor Standards and recouped $670K for over 600 workers in my city. No one should ever work for those Frito-Lay union workers on strike in Mississippi, 12-hour shifts / 7 days a week, a suicide shift, off at 11, back at 7, and bad faith bargaining. 10 raise year 1, no raise year 2. 10 raise year 3, and this is after no raises for 7 years. CEO is one of highest paid. Apparently the striking workers miss their families, and wish the company treated them like humans, not robots. I don't work there, but I support their cause. In February 2021 Bell Media fired large numbers of staff, many of them without notice or warning. Some found out 15 minutes before their show was to go on the air. Some radio shows were just changed mid-broadcast. Some found out via Twitter they no longer had jobs. This all happened a month after Bell took $122 million in COVID relief despite boosting dividend payments and having strong financial records. Bell, I hope every hot pocket they bite into is scalding on the edges, but still frozen in the middle. DuPont dumping chemicals into the water supply for decades. DuPont's own documentation specified that C8 was not to be flushed into surface waters, but the company did so for decades. The chemical seeped into the water supplies of the communities of Lubeck and Little Hocking, immediately west of Parkersburg, and the city of Belper, Ohio, just across the river, and 3 other water systems. In 2004, DuPont paid $70 million in a class action lawsuit, and agreed to install filtration plants in the affected water districts. In 2005, it reached a $16.5 million settlement with the EPA for violations of the Toxic Substances Control Act. A collective decision was made to use the money won in the class action suit to conduct an epidemiological study in which nearly 70,000 of the 80,000 plaintiffs stopped into one of 6 clinics set up throughout the community, provided their medical histories, and offered their blood. They were each paid $400. A science panel, comprised of public health scientists appointed by DuPont and lawyers representing the community, was convened to examine the immense database. In 2012, after 7 years of study, the panel released a report documenting a probable link between C8 and 6 conditions: testicular cancer, kidney cancer, thyroid disease, ulcerative colitis, pregnancy-induced hypertension and high cholesterol. In 2015, DuPont spun off its chemical division into a new company called Chemours, which now occupies the Washington Works facility on the Ohio. In 2017, DuPont and Chemours agreed to pay $671 million to settle some 3,500 pending lawsuits. Chemours was cited in 2019 by the EPA for the release of unregulated chemical compounds in West Virginia and North Carolina. C8 was recently found in the blood of polar bears. C8 is in the blood of 99% of the American population. So far, not a single person has been charged with a crime. And just to make sure that you all know that the rich can get away with anything. In 2009, Robert Richards, one of the DuPont heirs, pleaded guilty to raping his daughter. He received no prison time, instead fined $4,395, and promised to attend a high-end treatment facility. At the time Richards was 6'4", and around 300 pounds. His daughter was just 3 years old. After being released from court he went back to living on his multi-million-dollar trust fund. The press did not report on any of this at time. It wasn't until 2014 when his ex-wife sued him for damages for the crime that it all came out. During Richard's treatment, His counselor thought that he wasn't being upfront with him and suggested Richards take a polygraph. The polygraph suggested that Richards had also raped his son. His 8-year probation ended in 2017. Epson ink cartridges scam https://yao2 b/ahx6th Disney trying to trademark everything to do with Day of the Dead for Coco, Polynesian faith for Moana, Norse faith, Loki. Repeatedly trying to copyright other cultures while posing as a good company. Hippity hoppity, your culture is now my copyrighted property. Hospital bill Lingo vertical bar $30 for 25 milligrams of ibuprofen. I was hospitalized for bipolar depression. The doctor said, how many drinks do you have in a week? I said none. And he said, good, you shouldn't drink with your condition. They tried to bill me $100 for alcohol abuse counseling. Everything Nestle does. The fact that so many Amazon products are fake. It is dangerous considering how much skincare, makeup or really anything that could potentially harm someone. Social media companies, amongst others, hiding what information they are taking from you, as well as just the fact that they are taking personal information. Dental assistant here. It is common in many dental practices for hygienists, the people who clean your teeth every /6 months, to be paid per patient, not an hourly rate. What this inevitably leads to is hygienists treating patients for significantly less time than the recommended standard. It should take roughly 45 minutes to an hour for a proper teeth cleaning. The dental office I previously worked at proudly advertised a 20-minute cleaning for adults, something that might seem convenient for those not knowing that they are literally getting ed over. Keep an eye at how long your hygienist visit takes each time, and if they are whipping you in and out of there in 20 minutes, please consider finding a new dentist. Dentistry is one of the only medical fields where a quick visit is usually a poor visit. Pretty much every company that delivers mail/packages, at least in my area, are marking packages as delivered and then not actually delivering the package that they know they still have until up to 4 days later. I'm here thinking I should have the package, it was left, but I can't find it. So I have to file a claim. Then the package shows up. So I need to cancel the claim. This is a massive waste of time for everyone. Just stop doing this. Deliver the package, then mark it delivered. Look, the last year's been rough and there are all kinds of lingering effects. Fine. I don't care if is late. Don't lie to me. CRTC, Canada. They are supposed to be advocates to lower the cost of telecommunications in Canada. Instead, the CEO is going for drinks after work with the CEOs of the telecommunication companies. Effect? Pricing rising. People often cite the case of the old woman suing McDonald's as an example of frivolous litigation. The truth is that McDonald's used the media to wage war against this woman and to legitimize her claims. Her case was legitimate. The coffee was so hot she had to receive skin grafts and suffered permanent damages. Back when I worked at Logan's Steakhouse, they didn't get me into the computer the whole week I trained. They told me to write my times down and turn them in daily, so I did. I get my first check and the 30 hours I trained aren't there. Only my serving hours at $2.13. I complained for months and they say they can't give it to me all at once, as that would put me in overtime and make it time and a half on the training base pay. They say they'll have to just add a few hours to each check. I reluctantly agree, except this doesn't even happen. Others have the same thing happen. Kitchen employees were being forced to clock out at 10, whether or not they were done working, and may have to stay till 11 or 12. Years later this becomes a lawsuit known as the off-the-clock class action suit against Logan's. I sign up, and the attorney tells me there is zero record of me ever working there, even using my SSN and store number. Logan's. Shaving hours to avoid overtime. Bro. My first manager would tweak my hours, because apparently I was clocking in too early and clocking out too late. I was a stupid kid and didn't really get it was super illegal till way later. The Resnick family, specifically wonderful, almonds, pistachios, pomegranates, etc., and Fiji water. Wonderful has essentially created a monopoly on these products, stopped them import of superior alternatives in their control of the market, and are sequestering and using millions of gallons water, to do so despite CA water restrictions. Then with Fiji they are essentially using slave labor, to take an insane amount of a small nation's fresh water, not properly purifying it, and then marketing it as top of the line. Not being transparent about pay rates leading to people making significantly more than those who think asking for a raise would be asking for too much. A queen selling better tanks knowing full well that they are abusive towards betters, but choose to sell it to people who know nothing about fish. Normal betters require 5 gallons, king/giant betters need 10 not 0. 5 gallons. Uber Eats Pass is supposed to comp your delivery fees from participating restaurants, but they still charge you an exorbitant percentage of that delivery fee as a delivery fee tax. I'm talking as high as 30%. Edit, just wanted to add that the only place you were able to see this special tax, until the most recent app update, was on the receipt, when the order was placed, but not delivered yet. Once the order was delivered, the delivery tax got absorbed into the rest of the taxes. Jer's Restaurant and Brewhouse / their CEO withheld employee emergency funds during the pandemic that employees voluntarily contributed into for emergencies. They /he would not respond to comment as to where the money went. They furloughed and fired a ton of people who never got to see those funds. Edit, for additional info, I'm referring to the Give a Slice program. Employees voluntarily opt into pre-tax paycheck contributions for this program. Taking away your right to repair. I don't think many people notice how badly Dollar Tree workers are treated by corporate, especially compared to regular retail employees. There's a reason they are still able to sell everything for $1. Hell, the Christmas bonus for associates last year were stale cookies. Just for the record, I've never worked there. This is what I've observed from r/Dollar Tree. Statistically, a mere 100 companies are responsible for 71% of pollution and climate change, but instead they blame the general populace to save money. In 2018, Verizon throttled the data of firefighters during a forest fire, and when they pleaded for faster speeds to communicate and save people, Verizon's response was you should get upgrades. https://www.npr org/2018/08/22/640,815,074 Verizon throttled firefighters data as Mendocino wildfire raged, fire chief says. Plenty of entry-level labor jobs have production incentives to offset their low wages, suppress worker rights, and keep the workforce divided. These have a long-term effect of lowering wages, allow the company to flexibly increase quotas, and terminate sick/exhausted staff, and diminish company morale. Even if you're a top-shelf earner, you're going to earn less in 10 years than someone in a similar plant with no productivity bonuses, while working harder, and in worse conditions on average. Amazon actually kills small businesses, and I know this firsthand from working in logistics. There are a number of small businesses out there who make their products in China, and use Amazon Marketplace to get their feet off the ground and push tons of inventory hoping to make it big. Lo and behold, the moment an item starts getting big, Amazon will take that item, manufacture it in their own warehouse, brand it as Amazon Basics, and then will sell it literally for a fraction of the cost, completely cutting the small business out of the equation, and making it impossible for them to sell their inventory, just because their prices are so low. Dunkin' Donuts has a policy that requires employees to trash unbought donuts. Some employee posted a video of giving unbought donuts to homeless people, and was fired for it later. Don't even get me started on Facebook. I am a small business owner who uses FB as a primary point of contact with customers. For the last 2 years I have gotten 95% of my orders through my business page with no problems. 3 weeks ago my personal account was disabled with no explanation, just that I violated community guidelines. They gave me a chance to request a review, except they made it exceptionally difficult to do so. I got error after error message, locked out of my account, sent several emails, and never heard a word from anyone. After 2 weeks of trying to fight for this account I am finally able to log in, and they say that my account has been permanently disabled. My personal and business pages have been wiped from existence. After 2 years of hard work I have lost hundreds of customers. I have started all over, and it has been a real. This is my livelihood. After doing some digging I found that someone made unauthorized purchases with my business card through Facebook. So someone spent $28 of my money and got my account locked. I had no way to explain this to FB, so maybe they could reverse the decision to disable my account. Facebook has no security. I had too far set up. Hackers can apparently still get in. They do this to hundreds of people every day. Health error as a thread of people asking the same thing every day. Tons of us have lost our accounts. The majority are business owners. This keeps happening and FB has not done a thing. Lord knows what they actually do with our information. There is no way to contact Facebook, no phone number, no one answers emails. If you cannot get into your account you cannot contact support. At this point it feels like they're letting hackers/scammers into our accounts, probably for money. I honestly feel like Facebook is a front for some bigger seedy business. We won't get into details, but it rhymes with mild checks packaging. I am so tired of big companies ting on the little guys who can barely stay afloat. I am so tired of all of these companies selling our information and leaving us to figure out how to protect ourselves. I am pretty sure all the breaches we get from Microsoft and other companies is just them getting caught selling our info, and they say they were compromised. This is insane and we keep letting it happen. Even after all of this hell I have gone through I still made another FB account to try to find my customers. I have a couple of rough drafts typed up to send to my local news stations, BuzzFeed and any other online news source I can think of. I am really sick of being taken advantage of for using a free service that these companies offer. TL. Doctor no security, no way to contact anyone equals no accountability equals Facebook. I'm sucks, but I still have to use it for my business. No one has said Wells Fargo. Their issues are numerous, but the fake account one is the main one. Capitalism keeps forcing them to grow, but at a certain point everyone that needs an account has one. When you set ridiculous new account quotas for your employees and don't let them leave for the day, if they don't meet quota, you're asking for fraud. Managers and execs knew fraudulent accounts were getting opened, but it helped them meet their quotas. Walmart intentionally pays their people so little that they stay under the poverty line. That way they get tax benefits for employing so many people that are under the poverty line. I knew a guy who was a corporate guy. YouTube removing dislikes on videos. If a video was objectively harmful or just plain bad, how are we supposed to know if it is? They are still supposedly testing this, but chances are they are going to release it to main version soon. Ending pay periods in the middle of the week, so that when you work 7-11-hour days in a row you barely make any odd. Any company like Amazon that is obviously using inflated reviews. People should be able to trust those reviews. It's sad that they can't. Any printer company and their ink. Printers have not had any actual innovation in the last 10 years. All printer updates/upgrades are purely to sell another printer and more ink. Asterisk they put chips on them to make near impossible to refill them. Asterisk they change the design of the physical cartridge so that you can swap them. Asterisk they have specific colors for their inks and they add specific things to their ink to have a different flow rate. They then try to take legal action on people who can recreate this color/weight of ink. Asterisk when you buy a printer you are buying it with an ink cartridge that is usually half or less than half full. Asterisk the ink is designed to dry up. Asterisk all of this applies to toner printers too, but apply the ink idea to a powder instead. So custom powders that heat/dry at specific temps. Apple. Asterisk claims to be a green company and has done so for years. However, their phones create more waste that's harder to process than most any other material. Asterisk Apple refuses to sell parts to repair shops and actively is fighting against your rights to do with your device as you please. Asterisk Apple bullies developers on the platform with a monopoly on apps, stores, and other interactions with the phones. So they tax your $1 donation to that app developer for a coffee for 30 cents. Asterisk they actively try to make it harder for repair shops to source parts for devices by partnering and paying the customs department, giving them access to tools and knowledge on where to find logos on boards that most people don't know where to look. Even people who have been doing this for years. John Deere. Asterisk refuses to sell parts to repair shops and actively is fighting against your rights to do with your tractor as you please. Asterisk locks features behind software updates that are included in contracts, but they have to be applied by techs that cost $1,000 or more to come do the update. Asterisk they actively fight against your inability to repair your own tractor. Asterisk they do not give you access to the parts that they sell to companies like Home Depot and others to repair your own appliances. Asterisk no real innovation for the last 10 years. Companies involved with the gig economy. Amazon loves when you deliver packages for them in your own car. They don't have to pay for maintenance or anywhere near the cost for an employee. Last I checked, Reverend.com was paying /30 cents per audio minute for audio transcriptions. If it takes you 4 minutes to transcribe 1 minute of audio, not too bad for a QWERTY keyboard, then congrats, Rev will pay you $4.50 an hour. That doesn't include the time it takes you to find a job with decent audio. Those just starting out can expect to make $1 an hour. With these gig jobs, you're not making jack. And you get no medical, dental, or vision coverage. It's like the first world version of a sweet shop. Nestle trying to privatize water sources because the CEO does not think that people have a right to water. Chiquita is terrible for being a continuation of United Fruit Company, which sponsored overthrowing democracies in Central America. It's not like they changed either. They pled guilty to funding terrorism in Colombia in 2007. Wonderful Pistachio is buying water rights in California. In general, Nestle and others are somehow acquiring exclusive access to water. In the US they have the legal system, while overseas in third world countries they hire local militias and governments to sell people stuff that should be a right to them. I feel more people should be aware of this, and Ulf Marx Knieder should be dragged out into the streets and hung by the gallows. I work in a hot non-ac warehouse and they just tuck away our personal speakers for listening to music. Now we get to listen to the fans whirring on the ceiling blowing hot air onto us. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.